Okie dokie then, let's do this. Groovy stuff, groovy stuff. Right, just making sure we are live and ready to go first of all. All right, looks like we're going live. Sounds like we're going live, which must mean we're live. All right. So, quite saddening to hear that Ken Page, a star from Broadway, passed away. It's rather sad to see. Man, so many people just passing away lately. Just puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Who is Ken Page? Ken Page was a Broadway actor who's best known for portraying Old Deuteronomy in the Cats stage musical. You know, before it got turned into one of the worst movies ever made, with Judi Dench taking on the role of Old Deuteronomy. I know one of the worst is probably an exaggeration, but still not the best reception. Ken Page was also King Gator in the film All Dogs Go to Heaven. And of course, as you all well know, he was the voice of Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. So he's passed away lately, and he's mainly known for musical roles. He doesn't appear to have featured in many other movies, more prominently to my knowledge. With that said, he has continued on his voice of Oogie Boogie in some of the video games, like Night Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, as well as the Kingdom Hearts series, naturally. He seems to have been in a few television shows, especially Duckman. I've yet to watch Duckman. He was in that one episode of Touched by an Angel, apparently. He hasn't made appearances in many movies. Right. So, he's passed on lately, so yeah, that's rather sad. And so, in honor of Ken Page, might as well look to his musical career. Yeah, his role as King Gator was particularly odd, wasn't it? Like, so odd. It's inspired Nostalgia Critic and Nostalgia Chick to come up with a reoccurring gag for the Nostalgia Critic series called A Big-Lipped Alligator Moment. This refers to a moment in a movie where something really bizarre happens and it's never brought up for the rest of the movie ever again. Like, yeah, King Gator does appear in one scene and then there's a payoff with him devouring the villain, but he spares the main protagonist Charlie's life just because he sings well. So all of a sudden there's this elaborate musical sequence. And the fact that King Gator really likes music, it's never brought up again. It's a pretty bizarre scene. Although I can imagine Ken Page was chosen for. He hasn't featured in many movies. I'm surprised Ken Page hasn't featured in many other productions, given that voice of his, especially as Oogie Boogie and the crocodile from All Dogs Go to Heaven. Although, with that said, he spent most of his time on Broadway, so I imagine that would more than make up for that. I imagine viewing on Broadway would have been quite the sight and sound to see and hear. Seen here at the same time. Is there a word for that? I suppose maybe those people who actually see colors whenever they hear music could probably help, if that's a thing, which it is. Anyway, Might as well. Oh! It's something very distinct about that particular voice of his. Like, like I can imagine people like looking at Cat will think, "Oh, that's the guy who played Oogie Boogie," and maybe some people watch Old Dogs Go to Heaven will think, "Wait a minute, I recognize that voice. Is that Oogie Boogie?" Oogie Boogie, the crocodile who spares a dog's life just because he held a certain tune. Ha! How can you expect me to develop a voice as synchronizing as this? It's just so crazy and spontaneous, that whole scene. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Oh, let's make music together, baby. You gotta love like the stretchy animation, baby. Especially the sequence where they go underwater. We are brothers of a feather. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby. um, what else has been happening as of late? So, thank you, Ken Page, for your musical contributions. Your charisma has made those larger than life roles all the more enjoyable. Thank you, Ken. Um, also, some very unfortunate news. The people in Rocksteady, I think they still have a chance of winning people over with the Suicide Squad game. So they've introduced a new character who's basically Deadshot's daughter, called Lawless, her real name being Zoe, to my knowledge. And having looked at some clips and pieces of her in the game, I just think, why do you keep doing this to yourselves? So, who is Lawless? Basically, imagine like this irritating Gen Z TikTok gaming streamer. They've basically made that into a character in a Rocksteady game. And she's pretty annoying. There's this cutscene where, for context sake, she is the daughter of Deadshot, so that would have made for some interesting interactions, but there's hardly any much dialogue and exchanges between Deadshot and her daughter during gameplay. And despite the anti-gravity floaty stuff, there's really not much to her from a gameplay standpoint. In fact, her ultimate move had the potential to be quite cool, but it was just another grenade like the ones that I presume any other characters would use. That's pretty much it. And she's, from what I've seen of the cutscene of her, she's pretty annoying. Like, she's something about her character. She has this weird anti government thing going on with her. Like, she goes up to the Suicide Squad. She tells them, "Oh, how could you let the government do this to you? How could you let them do this to you like that?" Lady, do you think these criminals had much of a say prior to joining this group? I mean, look, I get it. Like, I mean, it seems odd for her to say that because she's embracing the criminal lifestyle. And I was going to say, she would have made a valid point if she was trying to say, don't be a criminal. But she herself is a criminal. So we just have to say that, oh, how can you let the government control you like this to do the missions? Lady, do you not know the basic premise of Suicide Squad? The whole point of Suicide Squad is that it's villains who have bombs like on the backs of their necks, and if they don't comply to the mission, the bombs will detonate because they're being surveyed by the people in charge of the Suicide Squad. Like, are you not familiar with how Suicide Squad works, darling? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like if Deadshot's not, not to mention Zoe said, "How could you abandon me?" Okay, again, that would have been a valid point for Deadshot to be away for some time, but at the same time, Deadshot's been in prison for some time. Like they don't even. That doesn't even seem to cross their minds during the exchange. It just all seems to be a pretentious excuse just for her to own her dad. So yeah, pretty irritating, annoying character. Rocksteady is just absolutely desperate to try to appeal to the masses. It's all just fruitless stuff. I'd rather do something better. Let's make music together, baby. I mean, I guess that's the vast bulk of what I wanted to say, but I will be saying, like, later on today, or later on tonight, I will find the time to watch the last episode of Rings of Power. Don't worry, I will get to that. I will get to that. Trust me. And also, just like to make a public apology in the fact that I made a video about Robert Eggers, and throughout my live stream, I accidentally called him Roger. Like, I even looked up his like Wikipedia article as I was talking, and for some crazy reason, it didn't register to me that his name is actually Robert instead of Roger. Read. So I'm so sorry for that. So that's all going to be fixed. So I suppose, speaking of which, might as well just make the adjustments while I'm here. Okay. Right, just gonna make the adjustments. I'm just gonna update it. Oh yeah, there was also those nice, kind people who pointed out the obvious. Yeah, thank you to the people in the comments for pointing out what I got wrong there. Apologies for accidentally calling and post. There we go. Also, I will admit it's been a while since I've done some drawing, but on Instagram I have been doing these drawings for Inktober. So the first theme being backpack, next thing being discovery, next thing being boots. So feel free to follow one of my Instagram accounts if you want to keep up with that. I'm going to be probably doing some drawing now, whilst I have the time. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. I bet you that song is going to be stuck in people's heads for quite some time. People are going to go and say, hey, I remember that really bizarre sequence from All Dogs Go to Heaven. That was a particularly strange scene. That just came right out of the blue. What else is there? Oh, yeah. Also wanted to talk about something fairly bizarre that's been happening regarding movie schedules. I've noticed that for some reason, there's these movies that are currently released in cinemas in America, which for some reason have not been released here in the UK. I'm talking mainly about The Wild Robot and Transformers 1. For some reason, people in America get to watch them as of right now, but people in the UK have to wait. Like, why? Is there some kind of licensing thing going on? What's going on? Like that doesn't make much sense to me. Like, you in America, you're probably gonna get somewhat confounded by what I'm going to say to you, but it has to be said because it is true. In one cinema here, The Wild Robot, which is a very promising looking DreamWorks movie, which my friend Brooks said was really good. Apparently, it's not going to be releasing in one of my cinemas until Sunday, the 13th of October. And meanwhile, for View Cinema, let's see. Okay, Joker Folie à Deux is out now. Right, I'll need to. Oh wait, no. Oh no, wait. Joker Folie à Deux is out this Friday here in the UK. And there was another film, Transformers 1. Let's see. I'm just checking the exact date just in case I get it wrong, because I'd hate to, spout something and then people say,
"No, that's wrong. You're clearly making some lies up for clickbait."
That's the last thing I'd want. So let's see. Oh, My Hero Academia, You're Next. Oh, that later on this month. Now that's a movie I need to go see. I didn't improve. Okay, come on. Quit messing around. Where is it? Okay, I know you're in there. Okay, here we go. Meanwhile, Transformers 1, which is, again, a film that's premiering in America as of right now, that movie does not release until Thursday, the 10th of October. Meanwhile, America gets to see it as of right now. Why? That doesn't make much sense to me. Is there some kind of licensing issue? Is there... why the delay? It just seems odd to me. Like, there's gonna be so many people, like, obviously I'm gonna avoid spoilers for as long as I can, but there's gonna be people saying,
"Oh, check out this scene! Oh, check out this moment! Oh, this movie's not so good! Oh, this movie's crazy, go see it!"
So I want to try to keep away from spoilers and stuff like that. Although, to be fair, there's not really much to spoil with Transformers 1, because we all know, with it being a prequel, we all know the inevitable outcome of Optimus Prime and Megatron eventually becoming enemies. And then there's a war on Cybertron, and then they have to evacuate Cybertron as it's being destroyed. I mean, that's inevitable. But obviously, a lot of people seem to be really liking this film, and it's all up to, well, I guess, the overall execution of it. I know it's the 3rd day of October, but you know what? I might as well do the next drawing. I find it just really odd that Transformers 1 and The Wild Robot have delayed release dates here in the UK, whereas people in America can watch them right now. Like, why? That seems kind of odd. I mean, they did that with, like, The Incredibles 2 and with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Like, why the delay? That doesn't really make much sense to me. I suppose in the case of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I suppose delaying certain release dates would make sense because it was a sensational hit in 2000, like the end of 2022, and by the new year of 2023, when it was released in the UK, it really took the world by storm, and it's made its way into streaming platforms as well. So I suppose maybe it's a year thing, but at the same time, the pitfall of that kind of strategy is that it can risk losing box office numbers because apparently people are saying that Transformers 1 is losing money in the box office. And I'm just thinking, hey, guys, calm down about that. The film's yet to be released here in the UK. Give it a chance. Give it a chance, precious. Give it a chance. So yeah, that's just something I find odd about the film industry. I mean, if there's someone who can like fill me in on these kind of details about why that happens and about the exact details regarding what qualifies getting released at a certain time and what doesn't, I just find it baffling. That's a baffling choice. Anyway, I'm gonna do what I usually don't do. Do a drawing for Inktober. Okay, theme number 4 for the official 2024 prompt list is exotic. Okay, so I had fun with the boots, although I was looking at this picture from sportsmanguide.com about a Danner 8 Vicious GTX Wilder and another one, which was a Plowhearth website boot of Born Ivory mid-calf leather boot. Right, so exotic. I really need to give credit where credit is due with when it comes to the pictures I make. It's easy to get into plagiarism, unfortunately. Exotic. Right. A parrot. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna make a parrot. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby. Right. You just gotta love how even Charlie's just confounded, like, what on earth is this guy talking about? Okay, keep singing the song, just please don't eat me or cause me and my friend to get hurt. We are better than ever. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby. Okay. Hopefully I don't butcher this kind of drawing. It's a good thing. I mean, the thing about the pen is that you can't use the pencil and the rubber to rub it out. I remember in my college days, we'd have to often practice with a material like pen to really put our art skills to the test. And sometimes we'd use charcoal, and we'd have to use these putty rubbers if we wanted to rub out these mistakes we did by pen. Of course, there's Tipex with the pens that you can use, although Tipex tends to be really like overused. Like I remember in high school, almost everyone just kept using the Tipex. Like I even heard rumors that people misuse the, correct me if I'm wrong, misuse the Tipex for as an alternative to some kind of drug addiction. It's white gooey stuff used to get rid of errors with the pen lines on the paper. Why would you want to consume that? Why? That doesn't make much sense. Human beings have a tendency to make things needlessly worse than they need to be. All right. I think this parrot's looking quite good so far, if you ask me. It's a pretty body, pretty body. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. I need to work on my whistling. Let's make music together, baby. Anyway. And what have we learned from Ken Page? Never, ever, ever hold Santa Claus hostage. Finally, someone came into the chat. Hey, Tech and Combat, you're doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. You're not an AI generated robot, are you? Or are you just genuinely that enthusiastic that you type in the same response every time? Either way, it's great to have you on board. I was just mentioning that it's sad that Ken Page has also passed away as of late. He was the voice of Oogie Boogie and the King Gator in in All Dogs Go to Heaven. And I was noting this current state of entertainment, and notifying how strange it is that us people in the UK have to wait for certain movies that are already released in America to come here. So I find that a wee bit odd. But no doubt there's going to be a lot of interesting films to watch this month. I've heard that the sequel to the Joker movie is not doing too well, but you know what? That premise is just too fascinating to ignore. So I'm gonna have to go see it when I get the chance. That, especially The Wild Robot and Transformers 1. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby. All right.
Big-lipped alligator moment.
There have been plenty of big-lipped alligator moments, and I thank you, Ken Page, for being the originator of that reoccurring gag from Nostalgia Critic.
A big-lipped alligator moment.
That just those moments that are just so bizarre, and then they're never mentioned again. Like that one lizard from the Fern Gully movie that wants to eat the human being, but never makes an appearance again. Or I guess another good example would be the gospel birds from that one animal movie. I've forgotten its name. I just sing about the bird child being rescued, but then never make an appearance in the film again. Funnily enough, when other companies were trying to rip off Disney in the 90s, there seemed to be some character design stealing in the Swan Princess with the alligator designs. Those alligators from the Swan Princess look a lot directly like the big-lipped alligator from All Dogs Go to Heaven, which led to Nostalgia Critic making the joke,
Big-lipped alligator stealing.
Right. Oh man, I should have bought different colored pens. That would have been great. Would have been great to do. I know I probably shouldn't be doing this on day 3, but the thing is, I drew the first 2 ink drawings mainly because I was falling behind on schedule. So I guess me doing this way ahead of time is my way of making up for that, I guess. Let's see. I'm surprised you haven't come on in yet. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby. I don't intend this to be like a big live stream. It's just acknowledging, oh, these events have happened, so might as well mention them because, you know, all the news counts. Oh dear, I think I've scuppered my parrot design. The parrot has a bit more of a neck. Oh dear. Oh dear, I think I messed this up. Oh dear. Right. Yeah, this parrot's got all the under thingy here. Okay, let's make you a bit more exciting. Make you really exotic. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's better. That's better. Because when you think of the word exotic, you think of like something that's really out there, something really exciting, something you're not familiar with, and that something adventurous, something you would full potential. Okay, it does have an iris. Ah, yeah, here we go. Oh, wonderful. And just get the outer rim too. Nice, nice. Oh, here we go. It's coming together. It's coming together. Wouldn't you say, guys? You like this parrot? Like the parrot, like the parrot. Right. Okay. I should have named this live stream October Day 4. I guess I'll just not even bother renaming it, just to live with the consequences. Alright. Let's make music together, baby. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby. Suppose, given the film they were in and the subject matter of the movie, makes you think about how they would think about that kind of thing, right? The entertainment ought to enlighten us in the same way a good philosophy does. I mean, it's one thing to have fun, but people wouldn't really want to have fun and endorse a bad philosophy. You'd want to have fun while endorsing a good philosophy. What would be a good philosophy? Well, a good philosophy encourages people to change for the better, self-improve in their lives, and in turn, improve their relationship with others around them. That would be the ideal kind of life. The last thing I'd want to do is just be some narcissist pointing to me. Okay, this parrot's looking really good. I will show you the parrot and even share on social media when I'm done. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I've noticed in Waterstones today, there's a toy penguin, but this penguin has the rubber glove on his head, so it's clearly the penguin from Wallace and Gromit who's been let out. I'm really looking forward to watching this new Wallace and Gromit short. I think it's going to be great. I think the new voice actor for Wallace is really getting the Peter Sellers voice right. Whilst I was at Central Bell, I finally got the chance to watch a few episodes of The Last of the Summer Wine. It's about these elderly folk in a sort of slapstick comedy in the country part of England. It's a pretty simple life. You'll recognize the voice of Wallace. A simple life joke. Let's make music together. Let's make the harmony. Let's make music together, baby. All right. I suppose to keep things relevant for my fans, I have yet to watch the last episode of season 2 of Rings of Power. I can't imagine how on earth the finale could possibly get any worse than what we saw in episode 7. Like, episode 7 was just so awful. I just had to make a whole live stream about it. It was that bad. Like, one of the worst episodes you'll watch in anything. Like, the medieval strategies, or lack thereof, are so incompetent and so absolutely bonkers. Hello there. Sorry, I am on the bus. Just came to drop a hi. Hello. Finally, someone dropped them by. I was just saying to everybody that it's sad that Ken Page has passed away, and there's an annoying new character in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but who cares? The game's failing anyway. Firecracker footage at work, but listening. Excellent. People are finally dropping by. Fantastic. I was mentioning the news, but I suppose I'll just give you all a catch up just as you're jumping on in. Ken Page, the voice of Oogie Boogie and King Gator from All Dogs Go to Heaven, as well as old Deuteronomy from the Cats play, he's passed away. In Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, they've introduced an annoying new character, and like no one cares. Well, I suppose people in a way do care, but at the same time they don't. It's kind of a weird paradox. I was notifying that here in the UK, and I think, could you guys help me with this? Here in the UK, there's some movies that are released in America and yet are not released in the UK yet. For example, Transformers 1 is not going to be released here in the UK until Thursday the 10th of October, whereas it's already released over where you are in America. One of my cinemas will not be releasing The Wild Robot until Sunday the 13th of October, whereas The Wild Robot is already available in America. So what gives? I've seen this happen before with The Incredibles 2 and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. With Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I could understand because I think that was part of its marketing strategy, but there's been people saying, oh, Transformers 1 is failing at the box office. Like, no, slow down, guys. It's not even released in the UK yet. Give it a chance. Give us a chance, bosses. Give us a chance. So I find that baffling. Could people in America help explain it to me? Okay, Firecracker could probably explain it, but not so much Sammy, because I think Sammy's from England, if I remember correctly. Yes, he is. What else has been happening? For Inktober, I'm currently drawing a parrot. I got no idea. That's weird. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? It's a very questionable thing in the industry. So for Inktober, I've been doing some drawing. So honestly, I really need to get back to the drawing actually, because I've got a Bachelor of the Arts with it. So and friend Philip Chandler encouraged me to get back into it. So Inktober is showing up. So I thought, all right, might as well do this for Instagram. Day 4 is a parrot, so it's a bit odd for me to do this in advance, but I was a bit late on the first day, so as long as I do on time, I guess. The parrot's looking good, I think. So I haven't got much long left, but I just thought I'd, make this sort of stream add to the viewership numbers. Anyway, my predictions for the final episode of Rings of Power one of the worst shows I've ever seen. I predict that. I mean, I don't think the finale could possibly get any worse than what we saw in episode 7. I don't think so. I mean, it could, and I hope not. But it's just that episode 7 had so many incompetencies. Like, I can't think of any way for the finale to top that. So, okay, here's my prediction of what's going to happen. There was this subversion that the dwarves didn't actually come, but in some way or another, the dwarves are actually going to come after all, and the leader of Durin, the leader of Khazad-dûm, is going to delay the dwarves. So there's going to be some Marxist-style takeover or something, and then the dwarves somehow travel from Khazad-dûm to Eregion in a matter of seconds, via quick travel or something. It's like set 1,000 years before Lord of the Rings. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wish I could say for certain, but the timeline is so inconsistent in Rings of Power because the events of Rings of Power is meant to take place within a matter of thousands of years. But Rings of Power depicts it like it took place in a matter of weeks or months. But yes, it is set thousands of years before the Lord of the Rings. My prediction for the finale is that like Star Wars Acolyte timeline inconsistency. Yes, exactly. My mouth is not moving as I say exactly. That's how bad it is. So Crystal Blue Star. Good morning, y'all. It's 3 o'clock here in the UK, which would be 9 o'clock for America. So yeah, of course you're getting up in the morning.
Get up, y'all! Get those hush puppies! Get up and get up to it,
and stuff like that. Why don't you eat your porridge in the morning and just stuff it down your bellies? Mom, y'all. Other predictions for the finale. So, Crystal Blue Star, enlighten us on Poon lore, please. So far, from what I'm seeing, the Harfoot plot point had no relevancy to the plot whatsoever. Like, so far, even all the way to the end of season 2, aside from the fact that Gandalf's here, you could pretty much edit out the entire Harfoot plot point, even the whole meteor scene, and it would not make a difference. Like, I am at the very least hoping, can the Harfoot plot point finally have relevancy at the end of season 2? Because if that doesn't happen, then what was the point of the entire plot point?
It's to get you more immersed in the world.
What relevancy does it have with the topic at hand, with the Rings of Power? You see, I know people like to critique the necromancer investigation plotline in the Hobbit series, but at least with the Hobbit, that side plotline was actually building up to the battle at the end of the trilogy, at least. What is the Harfoot plot point building up? It's not doing much. I come out to find GPT knows about DNF. Oh, you've been using ChatGPT. All right. Really insightful source. Well, I mean, ChatGPT will gain access to the internet, so of course it's going to acknowledge certain details. Pung said that D&M are not married yet, and looking at a Q&A video that she did, it was mainly because Pung herself is not married yet, so because she doesn't know the intricacies of marriage firsthand, she reckoned it probably wouldn't be worth depicting the couple as being married yet, even though they should, because they've spent so much intimate time together. They practically just pretty much should be married. All right, that's a good looking parrot. Wait, no, that's not. The theme's not parrot. It's exotic. So my prediction for the finale is that that wizard we see at the end will probably be like one of the two blueses. I mean, it's still going to be quite nonsensical in the way they describe it, but hey, if it is one of the two blueses, at least that would make sense because they did go off the chart. But at the same time, the Izatari knew each other well when they arrived in Middle Earth before they went all around the world. This is like seeing the two blueses going across to other parts of the world before the supposed event where they traveled to other places around the world. That doesn't make much sense. Yes, but I was able to fact check the AI, my own knowledge. Yeah, that usually your AI needs adjusting on the facts. My own knowledge. I was actually impressed because it mentioned Dee's childhood illness. Yeah. The thing is, when you post something on the internet, it's there forever. So of course, ChatGPT is going to look that up. It's going to look up the video and go, bing, okay, source of information, got it, stuff like that. If it turns out that wizard we saw in the desert is Saruman, I'm going to flip because that makes no sense whatsoever. That is stupid. That is dumb. What else is going to have? Of course, you're going to have Galadriel reconcile her romantic feelings with Sauron. It's just so stupid. Where there is no Pung Wiki, the ChatGPT would have likely referred to the sources of the videos themselves, and some of the comments as well, and other speculation and other sources, and maybe some other articles about the videos. There's tons of resources out there. So yeah, it really shouldn't surprise me there. Other predictions for Rings of Power finale. Let's see. What are they going to do with those rings? Honestly, there's an unpredictable nature to Rings of Power. The fact that it's so absolutely stupid that the sky's the limit at this point. It's probably something going to happen that's going to make it all so pointless or something. At the same time, so predictable. The dwarves are going to arrive somehow, and I really see no reason to keep continuing the series. Where's the general consensus on that show? Utter garbage, or as you guys across the pond say, rubbish. Or is it actually okay? There are some scenes in Rings of Power that actually work in isolation. Like scenes with like Isildur's father, the Entwives, the chemistry between Dina and Durin the Third. There are a lot of scenes that genuinely work in isolation, but most of the show is so incompetent at adapting the source material as well as being its own fantasy that it's led to so much scolding, and it deserves it. Season 2, episode 7 alone was one of the worst things I ever saw. What else are they gonna do? Well, it's weird because Rings of Power it's so predictable, but at the same time, it's kind of unpredictable. It's so because on the one hand, they're playing into all these pathetic tropes in a very tired and repetitive way, but at the same time, they are unpredictable in just how far off the mark they've gone with the source material. I just say you get this weird sense that you know what's going to happen, but at the same time you kind of don't, and you're kind of dreading how they could possibly bastardize the source material even more. It's man. Well, the sky's the limit, but we'll wait and see. You will hear my thoughts eventually. Also, do you like my parrot? It's a pretty body. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby. You're a good sketch artist. Yeah, thanks. I've got an entire
Ooh.
And a voice actor. Yeah, I do lots of voice impressions on my channel, as well as I've got my own art channel, Kilmer Critchy Art. I'll give you a link actually. It should help you gain access to my Instagram page where I will post my Inktober drawings. Also, in less than half an hour from now, there will be a premiere for a video of me visiting Central Belt, starting off with Campus Kenneth Abbey, as well as Stirling Castle. So if you're into the history of Scotland, I'd recommend you check it out. Check it out, check it out. All right, here's my art channel in case you wanted to see it for yourself. And I notice someone is talking on. Oh, all right. All right. Crystal Blue Star is spitting the facts on my Discord channel. All right. Okay, this is what the AI is saying. Okay. Yeah, I can understand some facts will probably need to be double checked. All right. Do you enjoy cooking on astrology? Don't you mean astronomy? There's a clear difference. Astrology is the weird, ooky, spooky star worship thing, whereas astronomy is the actual study of the stars. All right. Fixed by me. Right. Anyway, duty calls. So thank you, Ken Page, for your contributions as Oogie Boogie and your Broadway contributions. Suicide Squad is very, very desperate. As a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is very, very desperate. And there are very weird movie release delays in the UK. I visited Central Belt, and in about half an hour, more than half an hour to be fair, you can check out my video about that. And I drew a parrot. All right. Nice to be heading off. And I hope you have a wonderful day, every single one of you. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Let's make music together, baby.